Police have recovered the body of a man who was swept away by the Jagersfontein tailing dam mudslide. The Provincial Emergency Services says the body was discovered at a riverbank. More than 300 residents were left homeless and livestock killed 3 weeks ago when the mine tailing dam burst. Let's now speak to Free State Emergency Services spokesperson Sipho Towa on the discovery of a man's body. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Talk to us about how you found this body.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you and the listeners. We were alerted at around about 25 to 5 yesterday that there is a body that they see at the river banks, and it's at a farm which is about 15 kilometers from Jagersfontein. So our crew then went out there, and at about 5:05, the crew then confirmed that it's a male body that they've discovered, and the male body was in one of the decomposition states, and then they then declared the body as unknown, and forensic pathologists were alerted. Then they will then take it further to can then positively identify, because we have been in a mission of search and recovery of one male missing and one female.
So with this mission still underway to hoping to find the missing persons, how have you been conducting your search in terms of trying to find those who are still missing?
The search initially when it started, we went all out with SAPS and with SAPS divers and also the K9. And we used technology as well in terms of thermal cameras, and we also used aerial search where a helicopter from the military services were also involved, and a drone search was also conducted. So it has been an intense search that actually occurred, and the search went all over to the rivers as well, because the flow of the mudslide was up to about 16 or 20 kilometers from Jagersfontein. So the search has then been happening in around those areas that were affected. And also we went intensively through the houses that were destroyed as well. So then at some stage, it started becoming difficult to continue the search as the mud was becoming stiff. However, with the rain that we've seen recently, then the search resumed fully effective again. Starting to go through all the rivers and the waters that are around in the area as well.
So with the current body in question that you found, what sort of processes will happen for you to now establish who exactly it is? I would imagine a pathology test needs to be underway.
That's affirmative. That's the approach that we'll be taking as a Department of Health. Our then forensic pathologists will then be conducting those as from Monday with the families that has reported one of their own missing.
So have any families come forward perhaps who know that their loved ones are missing just to ask a few questions, and how are you handling that?
Yes, they have. Actually, SAPS are handling that part, because there's an open docket with regards to the missing persons. So SAPS did approach the families as well and inform them of the recovery.
You say that this body was found in a decomposed sort of state, and I suppose it also speaks to what the provincial government was saying earlier this week, because there were reports that there was a second dam wall collapse in the area, where we heard Premier Sipho Towa saying that there was a dam collapse in the area, and then saying no, in fact, they'd established that it wasn't linked to that. Have you had to deal with any emergencies around that back and forth, trying to establish whether or not it was, because they say that water was seen running through the area from a nearby reservoir?
Yes, Yes, on the 27th, actually, we responded to calls of a second dam collapse. But on arrival, it was discovered that it's actually cleaning that is currently happening in the mine. And they were then pumping out the water. And it was actually a controlled move because the road was closed as well to allow the water that they were using to clean the affected areas. So it was actually not per se a second best. It was the initial one. So it's cleaning that was currently being taking place where the initial best occurred.
Perhaps before we let you go, just talk to us about some of the challenges you're experiencing now that, you still are on a search for other bodies. You spoke earlier about the stiffness of moving around before the rains and what it means for your work as you resume and try and find some of those missing bodies.
Yeah, I think in terms of search and rescue, what normally then happens is when it starts becoming unsafe or difficult for the rescuers, then we then abort the mission and then review on how to go about. And then what we did then was we went on a public outreach and informed the public to start looking at signs of maybe a human in around the area as well. And the farming community were also alerted. So I think everyone is fully on alert and everyone is fully also looking around on what is happening. They are in the area. Yeah. Like I said, we also then involve technology as well. So it's things that we actually deploying to can make our work a bit easier.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time there, Sipho Towa, who speaks for the Free State Emergency Services.